video I made telling you guys that I was going to catch up on everything. I said that I was going to do 4 videos. Those videos were going to be what's going on with Ellie's dad, what I do for a living, my relationship now, and what happened with Josh. I don't know how many of you really have followed what's happened with Josh, but I went through a very, very seriously hard time, both during that relationship and afterwards. It was a lot mentally to deal with somebody that is like him. You know, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what mental illness he has. I don't know any of these things. So I'm not going to sit here and try to say he has this and this is why he did all these things or anything like that. Like, basically, I just want to make this video to tell you guys I cannot go into the details of everything that happened. I planned on it and I wanted to tell you guys because it's a huge part of who I am today, and I know that there's probably thousands of other people who've been in a similar situation as I was, and I'm sure me talking about everything that happened would help people a lot. But it's the one that I wanted to wait to do last because it is so hard for me to talk about. I was sitting there thinking about what I could say to you guys, what I could tell you, and I really kind of had to sit there and think about what happened, and it kind of made me relive the situations and the feelings that I had during those situations, and it started making me feel very uncomfortable. And so I remember I was just laying in bed that night and I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed, I'll think about it again tomorrow. Well, all night I couldn't sleep. I was very anxious and I was very nervous, and just thinking about the things that happened really triggered me to panic and feel all those emotions again. So as of right now, I just don't think it's a good idea for me to talk about it and open all that up. And I really do apologize for whoever was looking forward to that video. It's just, I have come such a long way since during that relationship and when it ended till now. I used to have really bad nightmares and I struggled to sleep, I struggled to eat, I struggled to deal with everything that was happening because it was just so crazy and it was so intense, and I just felt terrorized, and he tried to make my life miserable, and he did anything he could to scare me and threaten me all the time. And he really convinced me that he would kill me, and he convinced me that he would take Lyle from me, kidnap him, and I honestly truly do believe he would hurt me very badly or kill me. I do, because I think that he is extremely mentally unstable and he would do something like that because he's upset and because he's angry. And people sometimes are like, you really think he would do that? Yes, I do. He is currently in jail for barricading himself in a hospital room, and when officers came in to try and calm him down, he threw things at them and he attacked them and he tried to take their guns out of their holsters. And if you don't think that that kind of person would do harm to somebody that has hurt them, then you're crazy. Because I know I've hurt him, and whatever. People hurt people. It's part of being in relationships, but you don't have to go absolutely insane over it. I really struggle with, okay, he's mentally ill, and okay, he's a piece of crap who has done great damage to not only my life, but my son's life too. Living with the fear that somebody's gonna kill you is completely life-changing. You don't live normally. You struggle to just deal with everything. You're always on edge, you're always nervous, you're always watching over your back, and it's really, really scary. That's what he did to me. And still to this day, I still feel like he would hurt me and he would kill me. But, right now he's in jail, so I'm doing a lot better because I know where he's at right now. I can see where he's at. I can see that he's far away. He's in Texas. He's not anywhere near me. And, sometimes there's really bad nightmares and things that come up, and it's really, I really have to try hard to not bring that into my everyday life and let it affect me even more. And that was another thing that I wanted to mention, was that Lyle, when I did that Q&A video, I asked you guys, what did you want to know about Lyle and what were questions that you wanted me to ask the kids? A lot of people asked me to ask Lyle questions about his dad. Does he know where his dad's at? How does he feel about his dad? All those types of things. And you guys, I know that it's so interesting and you guys want to know how we're doing and how everything is. But I recently talked to a social worker and she basically explained to me that Lyle is grieving the loss of a parent. Even though he's alive, that he is still grieving, because that's what children go through, and it hasn't been easy for Lyle. You know, there's days where he's really strong and he basically is just like, that's what my dad decided to do. He shouldn't have done all that, but that's what he did. And there's days that he's very, very upset that he doesn't have a dad, and he cries, and it's hard and it's heartbreaking, and it's like, I don't know what to do. But, you know, we're working on it. He's been in counseling, and I just try to explain to him all the time that things would not be good if he was still here and was still living with us and all those things, because he's not good to be around us. And he's not good to be around Lyle. And I hate to say it, but Lyle is afraid of his dad, but at the same time he's torn because he feels like he should love him, and you know, he did play video games with him, he did do things with him that he liked, so now he's just so confused as to how to feel, and he really does struggle with it, and it's so heartbreaking because I know that that's because I made a bad decision. But I literally have this person calling me, telling me that he's on his way to my house on a bus and he's gonna kick down my door and take my son. Okay, I understand he's your kid too, but you haven't been there in his life. You are incapable of taking care of him, and you are extremely sick right now, and you're doing crazy off-the-wall things. You're on drugs, like, and it's just like, leave me alone. And he wouldn't leave me alone. He just continued to call and to harass. I did get a protection order. And the worst thing about the situation was that it came down to the point where I was so scared that he was really going to show up and try and take Lyle, that I had to sit down with Lyle and tell him, if your dad comes to a door, you don't answer it. You get an adult. If your dad comes up to you when you're playing outside, you don't go up to him. You go find an adult and get help. If he shows up at your school, tell your school he's not allowed to take you. Like, I had to tell him basically, do not go anywhere near him, do not talk to him, get help. And that had been so hard for him to hear at 8 years old, but guys, I had to do that in order to protect him because I was so scared he was really going to show up and take him. And thankfully he ended up back in jail before he ever got back to Michigan and trying to do anything to either of us. I guess the worst part of the whole situation right now is that he will not be in jail forever. He is currently awaiting trial in Texas for what he did, and I know he's not going to be there forever. He's going to be out eventually. I don't know when, but I know that once he is, it's going to go back to the fear and the harassment. I can guarantee it. I have a personal protection order on him, and he knows that, and he still calls and harasses me because he knows that he's far away and he knows that he's basically untouchable. It sucks, but we'll be a lot safer then because we won't be where we're at now. I'm going to make sure that I move before he gets out again. So I'm just trying to ignore all of it right now and live happily and not think about it and not relive it and not do any of those things because that is what keeps me stable and keeps me sane and keeps me happy. So I just want you guys to know that, like, I don't want to go into the details of everything that happened right now, even though I kind of just did a little bit. I mean, that is literally surface level compared to everything that really happened. And I'm sorry that I'm not ready to talk about it. It's just, I struggle way too much once I start thinking about those things because they really were just some of the most awful situations and moments in my life, and I'm so glad that we all made it out okay physically. You know, obviously there's still a lot of mental scars and emotional scars that are there, but we're working to get through it, and I know that one day I'll be able to talk about it probably without having so many issues. But for right now, I just really want you guys to respect the fact that this is the last time I want to talk about it for now. I don't want to talk to Lyle about it. I don't want to go into details. I'm not ready for it. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully one day I'll be able to be stronger than I am today, but trust me, I've come a long way. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching.